We play for keeps, Cuddy. You ain't heard about the Huddle fire with no with D-Line. We tryna get it off the muscle. Walters caught the pick and ran it back without a tussle. Blow the whistle, coach is time to get back to the huddle.
Welcome to the 510 Huddle. We back again. Unfortunately, the football season is over. We got the Rams Super Bowl champs. Good game. How you feeling today, D-Lane?
Hey, man. We waited all year for this one. The big game definitely was a good one. Let's dive into it, Zay. Let's talk about it, man. I had the Rams. You had the Bengals, right?
Yep, I had the Bengals. Man, it was close. Thought I had a shot, but the Rams, at the end of the day, made more plays.
And what I tell you, Zay, and what I tell you about weakness versus strength, Zay, what I say. And did that bad man up front not get off?
I will say I think this is where I made a mistake. I think Joe still played winning football, and we'll get into him in a second. I don't know why I thought Zach Taylor could put Joe in the best position to succeed. To me,
so you felt like Joe did or Zach didn't, or he?
No, Zach didn't. Yeah, I mean, okay, we gotta get into it, but I just thought it was different parts of the game. For instance, that late, that fourth down, the 3rd and 1 late in the game. One, why are you taking Joe Mixon off the field for a P-Ryan? Right? Mm-hmm. Your season, the Super Bowl is on the line with the ball to P-Ryan. And then second, to me, if you are going to keep P-Ryan in, because a lot of Bengals fans let me know this, that P-Ryan's a better blocking back and pass protection. Well, that 4th and 1, just keep P-Ryan the block back there, pick up Aaron Donald, and let your receivers get open. So I just thought Zach Taylor could have put his team in a better positions, knowing that his O-line was getting dominated. Again, there was no help. There was no chipping. But again, like you said, D-Lane, overall, there's only so much you could do with that D-line playing the way they did.
Yeah, the old saying is if you can't block them, you can't beat them. Yep. In football, definitely. But no, I going back to what you were just saying about Zach Taylor, that's why that was more of the reasons why I was leaning towards the Rams. Experience. McVay been here before, and you could see it in this game, especially early on, because I felt like it was this game was on its way to being possibly a blowout, or at least, like I said, 10+ victory for the Rams if Odell don't get hurt. Because early on, McVay was in his bag, and they was dialing it up. And you could tell as soon as Odell went down, it was a struggle moment, trying to find other guys to step up, but we seen we saw when the going got tight, when it got tight towards the end, we knew who they was getting the ball to. I believe Kupp had four of his 8 catches on that last drive with him and Stafford, and it was just beautiful. I was telling guys who was watching the game, everybody kept getting on Stafford, especially after he threw the first or the 2 picks. I'm like, hey, especially the first one, I'm like, all right, it's still early. We got another game left. He got his 1 pick out the way, and then he threw the second one. Everybody in there talking about bum-ass Stafford. Like, this is what he do. He choke. I'm like, all right. I'm telling y'all right now, the Bengals will want to blow him out or get up a little, keep scoring. Because if this game is tight heading into the late 4th quarter, I was like, I said what I said on our Instagram Live last week before the game. The stat I heard, Stafford has like 80 career wins. 40, more than half of his career wins is on game-winning 4th quarter drives. I was like, he's comfortable. I was like, I'm not worried about it. I was like, when this game gets to the 4th quarter, if it's a 1-possession ball game, I'm not worried about Stafford one bit. And he came through and he delivered.
Yeah, no, we're going to talk about Stafford in a minute because I definitely got some stuff to say on him. But no, you're right. It came out right. The Bengals' weakness was that O-line, and it showed Joe couldn't do what he had to do. I also think, like you said, Sean was the better coach. Zach Taylor has done an amazing job this year, taking him to Super Bowl, but there was plays out there I think that he could have took advantage of. And the last point, you mentioned it, if Odell never got hurt, I don't think this game stays close because Odell and Cooper just definitely too much for the Bengals to handle early on. So, because the run game wasn't going. So they did their job stopping the run, but man, was Kupp and Odell doing that thing.
Let me be honest. Go ahead. I was going to still touch on the game real quick.
No, go ahead.
Okay, last point. I was just going to say, I also believe another experience. You know, McVay's been here before. He knew how to stay committed to the run, or at least mix the run in, right? They ended up with 3 more carries than the Bengals. The Rams were 23 for 43 yards, barely 2 yards per carry. Terrible. But the Bengals was 20 for 79 for 4 yards a pop. And if you peep early on the game, they were trying to get the ball out of Burrow's hand quick little dump offs, try to keep him protected in the pocket, and they was handing the ball off to Joe. Joe had 15 carries for 72 yards, almost 5 yards a pop. I believe more experienced coach or a coach that been in this situation before probably would have been a little more committed to the run. Because I believe I said it, and I believe just about everybody that picked the Bengals said if they had a chance to win this game, I believe we all believe Joe was going to have a big game. I think he was on his way to doing that.
Yeah, no, I think you point out something really important. The experienced piece of Sean McVay, when the going got tough, he didn't go for plays. He went to his best player.
Man, I think God. Yes.
And honestly, and this is weird, the Bengals lost similar to the way the 49ers lost. They didn't go to their best player. Mm-hmm. Remember the fourth down with Kyle Shanahan where he got stopped, and that was last time he touched the ball. He didn't give the ball to Debo. Kyle Juszczyk got the ball in the clutch moment, right? In the clutch moment of this game, P-Ryan got the ball. No, the ball, and no matter what, you can lose going to Jamar Chase, Mixon, Higgins, Boyd. You go to your elite players, your alpha players. And I think, again, experienced coaching, when it's going is tough, when it's late in the game, you call plays for players. You don't design plays. So I think you hit it spot on.
Oh, no, you just hit it spot on. We're going to talk about McVay in a second, but my last point on the game and McVay, and we can move on. He dropped his fucking nuts, bro. Especially on that last drive, and I gotta go back. I'm gonna watch that last drive today because I remember from Stafford's point of view, just watching it, he looked in full control. But play calling wise, do you remember he put the season on the line with a jet sweep? It was 4th and 1, and he gave the ball to his best player, Cooper Kupp, on a jet sweep. That's beautiful, coach, bro. I gotta go back and watch that today. I have to.
Yeah, no, Sean was in his bag. But listen, before we get to him real quick, let's kick it off with Joe Burrow, right? Magical playoff run, magical season. I mean, Joe, right, he's coming into his own. I think he's definitely going to push the top quarterbacks, the Herberts, the Pat Mahomes, the Lamars in his division. But do you think Joe will ever get back to the Super Bowl? Or is this his Dan Marino season?
I'm going to go 60-40, and my 60% is saying yes. I kind of want to go the other way, but the only reason why I have to say yes is because no quarterback in the 100+ year history of the NFL has made it to the Super Bowl being sacked 50+ times. I believe they even said never even sniffed the Super Bowl, so probably even came close to an AFC championship. Never happened. Excuse me. First guy to do that is Burrow. And if you include the 19 or 20 sometimes he got knocked down in the playoffs, he got knocked down like a total of 70 times this year. But that's scary. That's scary that he made it all the way to the Super Bowl with no O-line protection like that. So I believe if they beef up the O-line, yes, I definitely can see him getting back somewhere in his career. But the part where I'm that's tugging away at me to want to flip my 60 the other way is the conference he's in. And shit, damn the conference, the division he's in. It's another young stud MVP quarterback already in his division. Lamar Jackson. And the Browns, they still got a solid squad. You need to find a quarterback, but they're built right. So it could be a struggle. I could see him going on like a drought 10 years and probably don't get back for like another 10 years, 18 years. I don't know. But I'm going to go with saying, I'm going to lean with 60-40 that he does just because I believe the talent is incredible. And we've seen what he did this year with no protection. So I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think he definitely makes it back. But I believe Joe's a special player, right? His impact on the team. He's someone I definitely see late playoff runs in the near future. I think if Carson Palmer and Andy Dalton could make the Bengals a playoff team, now they weren't winning playoff games, but a playoff team, I definitely think Joe can make it back. Now, it is going to be challenging, right? But he did the challenging piece. He went into KC and beat Patrick Mahomes this year, right? Yeah. Like, I think I talked about this before. I think we took that as like a whatever. Like, we took it as the Chiefs lost it more than the Bengals beat them. And the Bengals went in there and in overtime, Kansas City won that coin toss, and they picked the ball off. So I think they will come back, and I think this will be a team that has to be respected. Now, this is my question. Can Zach Taylor keep getting better as a coach? Because before Joe Burrow showed up, I didn't see any signs of improvement with this team. Zero. Nada. And so that's one piece I want to see with the Bengals. Is Zach Taylor true the coach to have you going to the championship or fighting for, number 1 and 2 seeds year in and year out? But yeah, it's exciting. I think this offseason is going to be huge because it's simple. Improve the O-line, right? And get a little better on defense with your backers, a little more athletic, and get the ball rolling. So, and get rid of P-Ryan. Jesus Christ.
I want to give, to piggyback to the game a little bit, one last shout out. The Bengals D-Line, they for real too. I didn't expect the performance like that by the Bengals defense. They were actually hot from the whole playoffs, to be honest, or had their spots. But like I said, barely held the Rams barely averaged 2 yards per carry. I just want to tip my hat to Hendrickson and them boys up front for the Bengals. They did a good job too.
I mean, I think if you see every team that was in the playoffs or late, the Final Four, Final Six, all had a pass rush, all had weapons on the outside. I mean, it's simple. Rush the passer, have an elite passer, some weapons, and you got a shot every week. So, but no, I'm excited to see Joe in his future. And the crazy part is Joe's only a year younger than Patrick Mahomes. So, I think we're all looking who's going to be those Peyton Manning, Tom Brady battles. And it could be Josh and Pat, but, don't forget about Joe. Throw him in there as well.
Man.
So,
but hold on, the last point on Joe with this topic, because we both agreed we think he can get back. But do you agree with me as far as it's possible we could see like a 5 to 10 year drought before he does get back because of everything I said as far as in his own division and conference?
That's a really good question. And for right now, I'm going to say I don't think it'll be that long of a drought. Only being because I believe their championship window is right now. Yeah. And they have drafted well, and I'm expecting their free agent pickups helped them get here. Cheeto at corner, Trey Henderson rushing the passer. Even Eli Apple made a play against the Chiefs.
That's toasted up in the Super Bowl. Game winner.
He made the game-changing play against the Chiefs, right? That Tyreek Hill play. I'm just messing around there. But I think, to answer your question, I think their championship window is now. And it's this easy offseason blueprint, improve our O-line and run it back. And they have the weapons. Chase is only going to be better. I think their window is now. I think it's going to be harder later on, as we see with Patrick Mahomes and all these other quarterbacks. Once your quarterback gets paid, your quarterback has to be times 2 because you're not going to be at full strength at every position, right? So that's my I think the window's now. I think the next 3 to 4 years, you're going to see Joe at least have a shot to make it back.
Gotcha.
But let's go to the next question. This is the question I've been waiting for. I honestly think it's a ridiculous question, but I want to ask you, is Matthew Stafford for sure Hall of Famer?
Ooh. And you know who got the pot stirring on this one?
Richard Sherman.
Oh my God. Sherm. Because he put out a few stats that I didn't think about. Because all I was thinking about was the numbers. That's it. That's all I was thinking about. And man, you know what I will say? Because I don't want to make it. I don't want to be long-winded here. I want to give you a chance to respond. I'm gonna just say this: not as of right now, not today. After everything I've seen and looked back on, numbers-wise and career accolades and whatnot, I definitely believe Sherman has a point. But we gotta remember here with Brady. Excuse me, it's a little off tangent, but I'm gonna tie it back in. Brady had almost like 3 different parts of his career, 3 different careers, and all 3 was Hall of Fame caliber parts of his careers. He had 3 different careers of Hall of Fame like play. What Matthew Stafford has right now is an opportunity to have a second part, the second half of his career be like that because we are in a pass-happy league. So let's say he does. I can see him very well before he ends his career getting at least one more. You do have McVay. We're going to talk about him and where he ranks amongst his peers in a second, but you still have McVay in place. He's not going nowhere. And you still got those pieces around you. A Cup. You still going to have, I believe Aaron Donald's going to come back. I don't know what Rodney Harrison was talking about. You still got Ramsey. So you still got talent. And I believe they still got a window. So I could see him getting another one. Now if he gets another one, we might be having a different conversation because everybody can't get two, let alone one in the NFL. So as of right now, no, he's not a Hall of Famer, but I believe he has action at getting himself a gold jacket because I believe he has action at a back half career, Hall of Fame like career.
Yeah, I just don't see him as
last point. You see what he just did with Cooper Kupp year one walking in. The statistical historic numbers for Cooper Kupp and himself.
Yeah, I mean he's done that before with Calvin Johnson. I'm not putting too much.
And won though this year. He always lost before, so we didn't care about the numbers, right?
This is where I have again we say QB's a winning stat. For instance, I've never in my life ever at no point, including this season, him winning the Super Bowl, was Matthew Stafford a top 5 quarterback? At no point. We've never thought about it. It's never been a conversation. It's just been great arm. I look at Matthew Stafford as this. He's Jay Cutler, but a better human and leader. Right? It's simple as that. And his stats.
Nah, he got a little better arm. Jay Cutler's arm was nice, but he a little bit better. Is that? I always believe he was a top 10 guy. Maybe not top 5, but I always believe
Stafford. To me, top 10. That means there's 32 teams. You're in the top 10. That's cool, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But to me,
but he's in the top 10, right? Talent wise, like you said, nothing wrong with that.
Talent wise, yes.
But out of those 32 teams, where has his team been ranked at for most of his career? The Detroit Lions, at least 30 and below is what I'm trying to say.
No, that's
not play a factor.
But to me, it's like, okay, I see you with the Rams, and you're winning in spite of all these mistakes because again, you have a loaded team and a top coach. So it's like you threw 2 picks in the Super Bowl; those are god awful picks. You threw a pick to lose the Niner game that was dropped. So there's so many instances of Matthew Stafford losing the game. There's a reason you have to do those last minute drives all the time because you fucked up in the beginning of the game. I just think Matthew Stafford is nowhere. I'm with Richard Sherman. I've never thought Hall of Fame with Matthew Stafford. Really good quarterback, and that's it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying he's a really good quarterback, had a good career. He won the Super Bowl. I think I look at this Super Bowl kind of like Peyton Manning's second Super Bowl, where it's just, hey, I had a loaded team. And they carried me, right? I made a few plays.
Yeah, hold on. What you mean carried them? He didn't. You making it seem like he didn't do his part to get up 27-3.
He did, but
the defense let them come back.
He did do his part.
All year. Yeah.
Not all year, but
I'm saying he played his role all year at least.
There we go. Yes, he played his role, but it wasn't like Matthew Stafford, for instance. Joe Burrow, there's a difference right now, right? If Joe Burrow was on that Rams team, they would have had a better record. They would have been a more lethal team. That's a fact, right? Matthew Stafford, the team was like, okay, yes, they're a little better now with him instead of Jared Goff. To say a little better than just Jared Goff, come on now, you're not a Hall of Fame quarterback, right? To me, someone said this in the middle of the season. This offense doesn't look too much different than having Jared, and right? That was
my notion of that would be the run game. It was run centric with Todd Gurley back then, and they didn't have the ability to stretch the field like they are doing now with Matthew Stafford in the pass game wise. Because McVay treated Goff damn near like how Kyle Shanahan treats Jimmy G. He just didn't trust him on a consistent basis to get those balls downfield and throw that shit downfield like that. So I feel a little differently on this one, Zay.
I just don't look, to me, Hall of Fame quarterback. I talk to you as a top 5 guy, unquestioned. I think we've never talked about Matthew Stafford. He's on a winning team. And again, this year he was not a top 5 quarterback. And so to me, there's nothing wrong.
Eli and Roethlisberger was never considered top 5, and they both going to be Hall of Famers.
Eli's going to be Hall of Famer?
I think Eli's going to be a Hall of Famer. Zay.
Okay.
Off the Manning name and the fact that both his came off the GOAT. You don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, Zay? I think Eli going to get in there. Okay, I'm not even an Eli fan.
Asking me, should he be a Hall of Famer? No. He has 4 winning seasons in 15 years. 2 of those he made the playoffs, 2 of those he won the Super Bowl. But because he has a losing record as a quarterback. But I guess we could put him in the Hall of Fame.
I would take... No, I can't say that because I seen.
Because can I be honest? Watching Matthew Stafford, I'm like, it literally made me think like, wow, like, you know what? You could put Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins on a loaded team, and they have a legit shot if they have the right coach and everything. That's all I was thinking. I was like, because I looked at Matthew Stafford is like a really good when he's humming, he's top 10, right at that 10 mark. When he's not, he's running that 12, 15 mark. Good quarterback. You want him on your team. Because at the end of the day, you're going to look at Kirk Cousins' numbers at the end of his career and be like, wow, right? If he adds a ring to that, you're not going to say he's a Hall of Famer. And I think we need to start addressing that like, hey, there's really good players and then there's the Hall of Fame. And I think Hall of Fame to me, again, during the era, you brought up Big Ben. To me, Big Ben won 2 Super Bowls, a winning quarterback. And when he did not play for the Steelers, they did not win, right? And so to me, it's a reason, like he's a whole reason that the Steelers won for so long, right? Eli Manning was not a winner. He won 2 Super Bowls and lost majority of his career. So I say with Matthew Stafford, he's lost majority of his career. Yes, it's with the Lions, right? But we see those special quarterbacks show up and they start winning. He's not one of the special Hall of Fame.
And I get that, but the talent around, I'm trying to, you got to give him a little bit of the benefit.
Okay. I seen him.
Look, hold on, real quick. I already gave you the stat of how half his career wins is on game-winning fourth quarter drives. Say he don't come back and finish those drives. Those 80 wins he got in all those years with the Lions might be the 20 if he don't come through clutch, is what I'm saying. So that lets you know, oh, damn, maybe if we did put some talent around this guy, he's over here, he's clutch, he's finishing games.
I've seen him with talent this year.
And he delivered in his first year.
Did he? Wait. Was he a top 5 quarterback this year? Is he a top 5 quarterback with talent this year?
For the first half of the season, they were talking about him in the MVP. I will go again. I'll say again, he finished top 10. Like that 7-8 mark around there.
To ask you this, all you have to do is be top 10 in your Hall of Famer.
Zay, just being this is the NFL. It's hard to be just top 10, let alone top 5. What are you saying?
I think the top 5 are undebatable. We could debate the rest because the top 5, those are the true Hall of Famers. Let's go through it right now. All right, Tom Brady's retired, Hall of Famer. Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Famer. Right? Okay. Next to that are undebatable Hall of Famers. Right? We got those 2 OGs. You got Russ, that's a Hall of Famer. So we got 3 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna ask you, Patrick Mahomes, is he better already? Right?
Yes.
On the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Josh Allen on a Hall of Fame trajectory. All right, that's 2 right there. So where I at 5? That's 5 QBs. Okay.
No, I ain't putting Josh in there yet. Josh got to win an MVP or a damn Super Bowl. I ain't seen neither one yet. These other young cats, he done did it. Lamar done did an MVP or young. Pat done did an MVP and Super Bowl young.
So on record, you're taking Matthew Stafford over Josh Allen.
Not as a talent right now today, no.
Okay. You're taking Matthew Stafford over Josh Allen?
No, I said not as a talent right now. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't take Matthew Stafford over Josh Allen. As a talent right now, if I were starting the draft, I would take Josh Allen as a quarterback before Matthew Stafford.
That's what that's okay. Yeah. I wanted to make sure. I thought you said Matthew Stafford over Josh Allen. So I'm just naming top guys right now, right? Lamar.
On the track. Yeah, he on the track for it. Got to keep it up and don't get hurt.
Herbert.
On track.
Okay, these are just quarterbacks we're already naming.
I got you. You know I'm big on resume, but I got you. I know what you're saying.
So to me, that's where it's so hard to even argue Matthew Stafford as a quarterback because hold on, the young bucks coming in are already threatening his spot for talent. So at no era, like this should be your era right now, Matthew, as a top guy. That again, they're winning because of you, no matter what. For instance, if next year the Rams aren't as loaded, I expect Matthew to carry the team. That's what top 5s are going to do. Right? If they only have Cooper Kupp and a couple weapons, right? I expect Matthew Stafford to carry that team because he has an elite coach. He has players, right? We said it before the season. Rams really had no weaknesses. So I say out to say, I believe Matthew Stafford isn't a Hall of Fame quarterback, but I will end off with this. If he takes this team, which he has talent around him, and they become a dynasty, he is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
So that's what I was just about to get to, because I was going to ask you, after everything you said, does he at least have a chance to have that second half career? Because you heard what I said. McVay's not going anywhere. Jalen's still young. Like, he does have a chance. Does this conversation, does the narrative shift to push him more into the Hall of Fame track? And if he does get a second ring, Zay, yes or no?
To me, it's all about how it looks.
Well, he's still young. He's only 34, and this is year 12. That's all I'm saying. He's not going to be, if he gets another one in the next 5 years, I don't think it'll look like Peyton's when they carried him in Denver. Like I think he'll still play his role like he did this past year because he's still young enough.
Payne could barely throw 30 yards at that time. But I agree with you. If he can put together a run in the second half of his career, I think he definitely is a Hall of Famer, right? And to me, like you said, quarterback's prime is truly, that 31 to 36 age, and that's what he's in right now.
So yes or no, Zay? I need a definitive answer.
Yes.
Yes. Hold on, no. I'm saying if he gets another ring in the next 5 years, because I think that's the longest this window can go, at least with him at quarterback. Is he a Hall of Fame? Yes or no?
Yeah.
If he gets another ring next.
I'll answer the question. He gets a ring next 5 years, and they're making the playoffs still, no matter what. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Because that means when I take a step back, I'm like, Matthew, you got to the Rams, a different franchise. Right, you fought. I'll give you the kudo points for fighting, even though you're fighting with the Lions. You came to the Rams, you won a Super Bowl, you consistently had your team in the playoffs every year, and you won another ring. You won 2 rings there. I will say that's a Hall of Fame quarterback. And I'll say this: he has a shot to do it, being that the NFC has no quarterbacks. Your biggest threat is Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott.
And Kyler, he's disgruntled right now.
I'm not. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we got to talk about that another time.
We need more facts to come out because that's some like high school.
A lot of he say, she say on both sides right now.
So no, I think. But to wrap this up with Matthew, if the next 5 years deep playoff runs and gets another ring, he's a Hall of Famer because that would be 6 seasons, 7 seasons of your career. You made the playoffs and you won. To me, it just has to look different than Jared Goff. Because we've seen them make the playoffs consistently with Jared. And, the only difference is they won it this year. So that's what I want to see. To wrap it up with Sean McVay. So I think Sean McVay obviously put himself in a different class. Where does Sean McVay rank now with coaches in the NFL?
Yeah, if we want to go amongst his peers, like immediate peers, I think he's clear-cut number 1 when it comes to Kyle, Shanny, and all those guys. And I love Shanny.
Let's not do peers. Let's do overall.
I know. So, I was just saying it, but I'm about to, as far as overall, now with Sean Payton out the game, I think he cemented himself in the 3 spot, right behind Bill and Andy. And then I'll put probably Pete behind him. Probably Pete.
Disrespectul.
Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to look and make sure. I'm disrespecting who?
Mike Tomlin.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Because I like Tomlin and I like Harbaugh. I like Tomlin and I like Harbaugh for the Ravens. But maybe I'm going recency bias. But yeah, I'm gonna put him at 3. Zay. I'm gonna put McVay at 3. He been at 2 and 5. In his first 5 years with the team or 6 years with the team and won 1, lost 1, then the one he lost was to the number 1 guy. Yeah, he's cemented at number 3 for me right now.
I got you. Yeah, to me, I have him cemented top 5, undebatable. To me, he's right around that 4 spot. And I just want to see
your 5.
My 5? Oh, so it's Bill, obviously 1, Andy 2, Mike Tomlin 3, Sean McVay 4. My 5th, it's tough to me. It's between Pete and Harbaugh. And I'm gonna go Harbaugh only because I've seen him overcome a QB transition, which is to me key as what type of coach you are, and that's what I'm gonna say with Sean McVay. I just want to see him again. I've been saying this: Jared Goff owes a check to Sean McVay. Sean McVay literally got him paid, literally. But with Sean McVay, I just want to see him. He's a young career, right? I think if he wins another one, I think he'll take a jump over Mike. Maybe over Andy, right? Andy has a longer resume, but again, they both only have one ring. But the key to me with Sean is I want to see a season of you coaching when shit isn't perfect. I know what happens if Sean Payton doesn't have a quarterback. They're going to win 9 games. They're going to be competing. I know what's going to happen if Mike Tomlin doesn't have a quarterback. He took fucking Dobbs and rode off and won 8 games. So I want to see same thing with obviously Bill, right? I've seen him with Matt Castle, Mac Jones.
He did make it to the Super Bowl with Goff. We all clearly cut and say Goff's not that guy. And then that first year, Gurley was hurt in the Super Bowl, and then this year they had some injuries too. They'll get hurt early.
You're right. I just want to see, like, hey, Sean, what does your team look like without talent? What happens when shit doesn't go perfect? Because at some point in your career, you're going to get hit with a Sean Payton year, a Bill Belichick. I just lost Tom Brady. I still won 11 games. Andy Reid, where hey, I got a filler quarterback and Matt Castle, and I'm still going to find a way to make the play. Right? Shit, Kevin Cole. I mean, there's not who did Andy make work. So to me, that is the last question I have of Sean McVay. He is a winner. He is innovative. He's a leader. If it was a coaching draft today, he would go top 5, undebatable. My only question to submit him as a top 3 undeniable coach in this league, what does it look like when shit hits the fan? Right? And hey, he might be like, I'm such a good coach. You might not see that for 10, 12 years. And that's fine. No. And if you're winning for 10, 12 years, we don't need to see shit at the fan. You're a winner.
No, facts.
Am I wrong for saying, like, I just want to see that, like, all our top coaches, we know what a terrible year looks like and them still winning.
Nah, for sure. But you know what? After just hearing you talk a little bit, I got to change my list up. I'm going to put McVay in the same spot you got him at. I'm going to lock him in at 4. I'm going to put Mike Tomlin and Harbaugh tied at 5. I think we're both being disrespectful to Pete, just because of what we've seen recently. But you got to remember, Pete won on the college level and he won in the NFL. How many guys done that? Off the top of my head, he's the only one I could think of. Can you think of anybody else?
Only Bill O'Brien. But he just won.
He didn't head coach. Yeah, he wasn't. I'm talking about who head coached the college team and won the championship, and who head coached the NFL team and won the championship.
At Penn State, he was winning 10 games with no scholarships. Remember that?
No, I got you, but damn that. I'm saying who won the national championship as a head coach and who won one in the NFL. I gotta look that up because I feel like he's the only one that I can think of.
You know, Jim Harbaugh and Pete only ones to be successful both levels in a modern era. But you know, you're right. They both didn't win natties. He's the only one to win a champion. Only reason I don't put Pete higher is because I've seen what happened when you don't have a quarterback or a quarterback misses time, and that was this year. And so that's the only reason I don't. And Pete doesn't have any. I also put this into consideration. He doesn't have a coaching tree. There's no coach that coaches under Pete that becomes good.
True. Jimmy Johnson. Well, did Jimmy win at
Miami? He did. Well, yeah, he won in Miami.
Yeah. Okay.
And he did win Dallas. So you're right. Jimmy. He's one of the best to ever do it. So.
Man.
He took them Aikman teams, won, and got the U, making them the U. So no, I like that list. No disrespect to Pete.
And Barry Switzer did too, but I don't know if he won one with Oklahoma. He probably did, but I know he had Oklahoma Knights for a good long time.
Yeah. Then So no, I just no disrespect to Pete. I just seen, I'm not trying to have recent bias, but the 2 years Pete missed the playoffs, the year Russ got hurt, and the year he didn't have Russ. Now he did. Sorry, he had a losing record, but made the playoffs. That was the Beast Quake. But yeah, that was one of them 7-9 teams that made the playoffs. So he had a losing record 2 years without Russ. But again, shit. Right now, that's crazy. If you ask me right now, who would have a better record if Sean McVay was coaching Russell Wilson? That's a good question to ask.
Who would have a better record?
If you switch coaches, if Pete was coaching the Rams and McVay was coaching the Seahawks, who would have a better record?
This past season?
Because Russ has never, ever been with the top offensive coach, ever.
Yeah, that's facts.
You've seen Tom with Josh, now Tom with Bruce. Right?
I can see Pete going crazy with the Rams defense, though, especially last year's D when they had a better defensive backfield with John Jones and them, with John Johnson and them boys. But I can see Pete doing some damage with the Rams defense. Same way I can see McVay doing some damage with Russell Wilson, Ty Lockett, and DK. He ain't never had a cat like DK. McVay as a play caller, even going to his time in Washington when he was there, the Redskins. Yeah.
No, yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel like it's a clear top 6 coaches in the league. After that, it's a fall off. And everyone's fighting for that, other spots. Let me ask you this, though. Is Kyle Shanahan under more pressure to win next year?
It's year 1 for Trey. You got to give him at least 2 years with Trey. We got to see. And when we're specifically looking at, I'm not even sure if we're looking for team success. What I'm keeping an eye out for in those 2 years is something you keep talking about with Kyle is development. I just need to see Trey take 2 steps in those 2 years, and I'm good with McVay. Then we can get back to being team centric. I'm like, all right, you know what? No, damn that. He got 1 year because I forgot. You right, Zay. I forget about the rookie quarterback contract situation.
Yep.
This they window. So what they only gonna have to next year, second year, they only gonna have 2 more years after that before they have to pay Trey if he turns out to be what we think he can be. So yeah, he had the shit. You're right. He got to win next year. I'm not gonna say he got to win the Super Bowl, but he got to get to the playoffs with Trey for sure. You got to at least get to the playoffs. You have to make the playoffs with Trey.
Yeah, I think this new era with Trey Lance, I'm really interested to see one if the playbook is different, right? Are they throwing it more? Are they pressing downfield? Like for instance, I don't ever see. I in my mind, I don't even know what it looks like. Debo catching a 40-yard pass over the like. I know he can do it after the catch. I know he does with a slant screen. So I just really want to see if this offense stretches the field more with Trey. But I think Kyle's under a lot of pressure, wanting to develop. He clearly told the team, and based off his actions, that Trey wasn't ready all year. Only played him when he had to play him. And then I remember early in the season, he was going to use Trey as a red zone package. Nick said that. Never seen him again in the red zone really after first couple weeks. So yeah, I think it's a lot of pressure for Kyle. Sean McVay won, got a Super Bowl, been to 2. So I think it's a lot on Kyle. And also you have to realize this too. Their window is short. Bosa's getting paid and Warner's getting paid this offseason. Right? Reports are showing Bosa's going to be the highest paid player in the league for defense, right? $30 million a year. Warner's getting paid, right? So then you got expensive cap situation with Trent Williams. So like you right on that D-Lane. They have to win because their team is expensive. It's getting expensive quick. Debo, he's getting his extension. So I forgot, Warner, Bosa, and Debo all get extensions this offseason. Woo, that's a lot. That's going to be at least those 3 players cap hit. That's going to be a good 30-something% of your cap.
Facts.
So I'm excited to see. I'm a Trey fan. Again, I'm always rooting for my black quarterbacks. Debo said something interesting during Radio Row during Super Bowl week and said Trey needs to learn how to work as a pro and prepare as a quarterback like a pro. That's a little concerning to me. Now, he is young, so why? Again, of course, that's the learning curve. But Jimmy had taught him that this offseason, and Kyle Shanahan, I don't know. To me, that should have been the...
Well, like I said, that I think that's just, some young stuff and immaturity. Like you said, he still got room to grow. But we're hearing some of the same stuff about Kyler, too. So, I always feel like that's something he say. Well, you said that was his teammate that said that?
Debo said that, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm always, I always feel a little iffy when I hear it from the management or front office because, they throw smut on your name so you don't get your paper. But if your teammate come out and say that, that's a different story. It could be a little more truth to it.
Yeah, no, and also someone made a good point. I forgot, I think it was on John Middlecoff podcast, that if you're a player, all you know is this: when Jimmy was healthy, I went to the Super Bowl, I went to the NFC Championship. So in their mind, it's just like when Jimmy's running the team, we got a shot. So I think Trey is also going to have to win over that team in the locker room. Like with me at quarterback, we also got a shot as well, right? So that's going to be the interesting part going into the season.
Mm-hmm.
And let me wrap it up with any more points on Trey?
No, I ain't got no more.
To wrap it up, the Raiders, they got their full coaching staff head into this. I think free agency starts about 3 weeks. Combine starts in 2. What offseason moves? It could be 1 or 2. Would you like to see the Raiders make? Whether it be drafting a certain position or signing a certain player.
I'd definitely like to see you guys add a linebacker. To the fold in that X. No, not the X. That speed guy. You know what y'all lost for Ruggs. Deshaun's getting a little older. Doubt you guys will bring him back. You gotta find that. Yeah, you gotta find that guy that can spread the field and get over the top of the defense. So I think those 2 should be your focal point. Linebacker, athletic linebacker that can play in space, run sideline to sideline, and a speed guy to take the top off.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think 2, I would add another position. I also feel like we need to solve that right tackle position. Obviously, add a right tackle, an X. I'm with you on linebacker. I think we got a young buck, Devine Divine Diablo that played well. Perriman made the Pro Bowl. I honestly think we need a safety piece. Abram is not it. But yeah, no, I think the Raiders, again, they're a playoff team with 10 wins. Add a couple pieces. Again, you got a salary cap to do it. I think the Raiders, again, will be right there next year, 10-11 win team. Just adding a couple pieces. Also, I think they're going to extend Carr, I think, on a short extension, a 2-year extension. So that wraps him up for 3 years, keeps him, again, flexible if you need to trade him for some reason, not getting it done. But also just secures that QB position, something, Gruden never did and just kept it weird. I think committing, that's a good thing, and it keeps a cap-friendly number for the team. But yeah, man, off-season time, I'm excited to see the combine. Someone going to run some crazy time, make them some money. And yes, with off-season time, man.
Facts.
But anything else, D-Lane?
Nah, just be on the lookout for our guest pods. That's it.
Yes, sir. We'll catch y'all. We'll catch y'all combine time 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
We play for keeps, Cuddy. You ain't heard about the Huddle fire with no with D-Line. We tryna get it off the muscle. Rodgers caught the pick and ran it back without a tussle. Blow the whistle, coach is trying to get back to the huddle.